Hey, this is Will from Chill House Studios here with George. We're going to check out some clean guitar amps today. We've got pulled up 8 different guitar amps, and we're going to sort of see the differences between them with a Fender Telecaster single coil style guitar and then a humbucker guitar, a 335 style Gibson guitar. And I think we're just going to kind of go through a few of these amps and sort of play them a little bit. George is going to play a little bit for you so you can see the different kind of tone they have or sounds that they make. And I think we're starting today with the oldest of this particular group, which is a 58 Gibson Skylark, which is akin to a Tweed Fender Champ. Very similar circuit, similar design. No reverb on that amp. Just a very down and dirty, simple amp. Give us a little bit, George. So if you turn it down, these are all non-master volume amps. Which means the more you turn them up, the dirtier they get. This one particularly gets dirty pretty early. So this is on about 1. But as So it gets dirtier as the volume gets turned up on it. This next amp we'll check out briefly here for an overview is a 1966 Fender Deluxe Reverb. So this is on clean. This is sort of the last of the Leo Fender design circuits before everything changed when CVS bought Fender. So give us a little bit of that one. Cool. And then next up, what we'll do is we'll hop over to a 1968 Super Reverb amp. This is a 410. The Deluxe was a 112. This is a 410. 1968. They had changed the circuit a little bit. So then we move over to another one in that family, which is the 1972 Vibrolux, a 210, that 4 years later. Then you go into the 80s and you have this here, which is a solid state Deluxe, which is basically, this amp is the 80s version of that amp, 112. Cool. Then you get into the 90s. I bought this amp in 94 maybe. This is the very first one of these. These are really ubiquitous. This is not trying to be a Deluxe, but this is their Hot Rod DeVille line. Then you come over here. This is an outlier. This is a Vox amp. It's an AC30, and this is the top boost section, which is brighter. And then lastly in this group is this Magnatone. So it sounds pretty different. So I don't know, George, do you have any thoughts as we make our way through them?
I'm just, amazed by the sound this little Gibson can make. I think, the breakup you get even on one is something I want to get, after checking out today.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that that era of tweed circuits is different than what came after it. And then this amp in particular is kind of voiced to be a little on the dirtier side, to break up earlier by the person that did that amp. I found that amp in a barn in South Carolina, behind my wife's mother's house, and I believe it was my sister-in-law who got that amp when she was in college. It wasn't working, but I brought it to a guy in Boston, Roy Good, who's retired now, but he was really well known in this area for doing amps. And he called me up when I took him that amp. He called me back up and said, "Do you want it clean or dirty?" And I said, "Dirty." So that's why it kind of breaks up pretty early. You have to turn it down pretty low to get it to behave itself. So you want to play it a little more?
Sure,
Let me
yeah.
make it dirty.